Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened, as I said it would. People will be... Oh, when have we got Leeds? Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Good afternoon. It's Tuesday the 9th of January, and it looks like we have... Well, it don't look like. There is lots and lots of stories we need to dissect, go through, see which is true, see which has legs, all this sort of stuff. But things are hotting up. Of course, it's still quiet on the Leeds United front, but we're making moves. We're making moves. Even if it's silent moves. Do you know what I mean? We're making moves. Good afternoon, Gordon. Big up, Vic. Notification gang. Just smash the like for you, bro. Thank you very much. Ben Barker, we're all doing well. Mark says, hi, guys and gals. I'm seeing a lot more women involved, which is good to see as well. Because if we look at them analytics, it's 99.9% men. I hear it, but we're seeing more women in the chat, which is good. Let's go, says Barbara Swan. Yeah, let's do that. Good afternoon, Johnny Firer. And like Danny says, please do smash a like and subscribe to the channel. So there is noise about Connor Roberts, Chris Mepham at Bournemouth, David Brooks, Joffrey Gelhardt, Robin Koch. Yeah, many, many more. That actually have legs. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's certain loans that are just not ever going to be in Leeds United's radar, like with certain players at certain clubs, and that is just a bit mad, really, but it is what it is. The Just Joe lunchtime show, exactly, Jamie, I like that, 1 o'clock. We went a bit earlier yesterday just because there was more news, but 1 o'clock's the slot, I think, because a few of you are on your lunch and whatnot. Big up, Dave. I hope you're doing well, my man. Big up, John Buck as well. Right, listen, like I said, many stories to go through and updating constantly and linked constantly, which are just trying to keep my finger on the pulse and yeah, find out what's getting on. Mark says hair's getting long. Yeah, it is when I'm able to do this, bro. Why have you got a picture of me when I've just had my head freshly shaven? Yeah, nah, it's a non-mover, John. It's a non-mover for me. I think, like I've said on multiple occasions, the club might like him, of course. Who wouldn't? He's a top player, can play right and left back. But the thing is with Nico Williams, he's been involved at Nottingham Forest, especially since Nuno's come in. He's had a couple of games off the bench. And because of his versatility, I don't see them letting him go. I think Phil Hayes echoed them thoughts as well, but I said last week, with that, I don't see a situation in where Nottingham Forest allow him to go. If I'm being totally honest, I don't see it happening. If we look at his most recent games, like I say, if I just go to matches, he's played 11 times this season, had 4 starts, came on in the last couple of games as well for Nuno. Of course, he's coming on late in games. Let's just have a look. Oh, no, sorry, that's wrong. Sorry, that's not even sub. So, right, okay. The sub ones are from the 26th of December. Yeah, so he's played 3 90-minute games in the last 3 games against Wolves, Tottenham and Bournemouth. So there's not a chance that he's allowed to go to Leeds United. This is what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to have a little bit of realism with certain players. Nico Williams, I'm sure, wouldn't be allowed to move. A player that would, of course, would be Connor Roberts. And we're led to believe from the YEP that he wants to move. He's happy for that move to go ahead. Graham Smith's written a piece this morning, 9th of January, which I'll just share with you now. Don't forget to smash a like as well, folks, while you're there. So just make sure you can see that, yeah. So Graham Smith's just spoken about in general the current state of the squad, etc. But he just said where Leeds could most do with greater depth is at fullback, given the injury issues for Byram and Firpo, Shackleton ailing, and the exit of Spence. The YEP understands Connor Roberts' style and athleticism has been long admired at Ellen Road, and he's thought the player would welcome being reunited with teammates Rodon Ampadu and Daniel James, but there is currently nothing imminent in the works. I said to you before as well that Leeds United had spoken to Burnley, but hadn't taken it any further than that. Hadn't said, right, yeah, here's the loan. So they're obviously scouring the market. But like I say, Roberts is currently behind Fantino in the pecking order. Obviously, he was named in the squad in the FA Cup, but didn't get a game. They're not blessed with huge strength in depth themselves at right back, and are thought to be unlikely to part with the ex-Swansea man unless they strengthen in that area. And that's something we have to think about as well. I think at the end of the day, this is why Luke Ayling and Charlie Creswell are still at our football club, because we're waiting to bring in bodies in that area. I would like the signing of Connor Roberts. Of course, there are preferred names that you would like Nico Williams, etc. But I just don't think it's I just don't think it's realistic that we are able to get him out when he's playing 90 minutes for a Premier League club, and he's clearly liked by new manager Nuno Espirito Santo. So I don't see that being a mover, unfortunately, for us. One player that's just been linked in the last has just been linked in the last 24 hours is Chris Mepham. Chris Mepham is centre back, has played at right back in the past, is an international, is also Welsh, is not getting game time at Bournemouth. We have a hankering for Bournemouth players, it would seem. But yeah, it's been reported by Alex Crooks of TalkSport. Now, what I will say just on Alex Crook, regardless of what you think of where he works, Alex Crook's main source of information is the South Coast, Bournemouth, Southampton. These are the clubs that he deals with. That's his area, if you like. So if he's going to get anything right, it will be from clubs down that way. He's their transfer correspondent anyway, and he's in a lot of their shows and stuff. But his actual area expertise is the South Coast. Big shout out JC, who's just become a member of the Just Joe Football Show. Don't forget to pay your rent as well. And Gary Paul says, surely but surely, in my opinion, new owners do it quietly. I agree. We're putting feelers out, right? Vic says Mepham is good at this level, would be a good backup, but would he want that? That's the point, right? I was speaking to Andrea about it as well. Andrea's not a fan. Andrea just said he's basically a slower roader. He also plays on the right-hand side, but he has played at right back. Like I spoke to Sam, who's a Bournemouth content creator. You might remember the podcast. They did the fireworks, or they've beaten Bournemouth, they're putting fireworks out and all that sort of stuff. So I spoke to Sam about it, and he said, yeah, Chris Mepham's not getting game time, has played at right back, because if you look at his time in the Championship, there was times that he played there, if you look at the heat map and stuff. But would you fancy him at right back? I would not, personally. I would rather even have Gray there, just because he has that athleticism over him. Chris Mepham's aging. He's not the quickest. Jason Lee says he prefers Cooper. I think it's as cover. Like, that's the only thing that I think we go after Chris Mepham as cover, and because he can play at right back. But if Chris Mepham's not playing at Bournemouth, why is he going to drop down to the Championship to also not play? Because Chris Mepham doesn't come in at right centre back, because we have Joe Rodon. You don't play him on the left. Of course, there are injuries to Strauch that may be longer than we expected. But I don't see why we would make that move. Of course, there has legs to it because it's been reported, but I'm just not sure if I'd be massively on board with it. And I would as a backup option. Let me just qualify that statement. Sorry, I would as a backup option. Would I take Chris Mepham? Yes, I would. However, I don't see why because look, Wales, this is why he's wanting game time, right? He's a Welsh international. He'll want to be involved in the squad for the Euros in the summer. Yeah. So we need cover for that. It's gone quiet on the guy from Hammarby, Adeji. That's gone really, really quiet. Jim says Mepham is top drawer at this level. He's not going to play over Rodon, though. You know, Rodon is a stat. Rodon is the only centre-back in the Championship this season that hasn't been dribbled past. We're talking Virgil van Dijk levels in the Championship. Virgil van Dijk did not get dribbled past. That's what we have now. Forget Virgil van Dijk. We have the Welsh Virgil van Dijk. It just doesn't get dribbled past. I agree. Mepham, great backup, but unless I don't want to see him playing at left centre back though. Yeah, I agree, Jason. I'm not quite sure on the state on that, but it is what it is. I don't know. It's been reported a couple of weeks. I guess we'll find out on Thursday. We'll find out on Thursday, won't we, about his availability tomorrow. No, Wednesday is tomorrow, sorry. January transfer window. I don't know what day it is. My sleeping pattern's all over, but we do it. We work hard for the channel, right? Don't forget, Carabao Cup tonight, Middlesbrough versus Chelsea, and then after that, we'll have a show as well. What that looks like, yeah, I'm not too sure. Still waiting to find out from Lockie if he's got some time for the scouting report, but watch this space. But yeah, Chris Mepham is clearly a player Leeds United are looking at. They're looking at Premier League loans, right? Yeah, more than likely, mate. Yeah, more than likely. Does not make a good player, does it? Not in all cases. And this is the thing. If we didn't have Rodon, yes, I'd be all over it. But if we're going to bring him in at right centre back, why are we bringing him in? Rumour, Strauch injury. Yeah, but he's not a left-sided centre back, so I'm not too sure if that's a deal that gets done. Yeah, I still what? So what we're saying here that we can sign Nico Williams permanently? What's the point? What we're saying? So you think that because they're under FFP pressure, we can sign Nico Williams? Is that what we're saying? Is that the narrative that we're pushing? Because if Nico Williams is available, he's going to a Premier League club. He's played 90 minutes in the last 3 games. I'll just to remind you what Forest paid for him as well, folks. Forest paid 20 million for him. So if they're under FFP, they're not going to send him to Leeds United because we're not going to pay 20 million, which means that would be a loss on FFP. There is no chance, James. Not for me. And I can be wrong, and I will be wrong, because I said Carvalho would never drop to the Championship. He's done that through choice of minutes. He did have picks in La Liga, in the Premier League, in France, but he chose to drop down, and that's very smart for him because he just wants to play football. But Nico Williams is playing football at Nottingham Forest. They may be under financial constraints, but they paid 20 million for him. He's not coming to Leeds United in any... not by any stretch of the imagination. Mepham is a good player, but he's more of a Rodon cover than Strauch. This is the point. This is the point, isn't it? So we'll wait and see. Even on the Nico Williams stuff, yeah. Even on the Nico Williams stuff, if that was viable, someone in the Premier League would take him. Yeah, no, James, I know that's the point I was making. I was wrong on that. No, I think we entertained the conversation, as did Leicester, as did Southampton, but we couldn't give him the minutes. It's a very smart move on his behalf. I think you don't get that enough. He's a Liverpool player. He just wants to play. A lot of reports, as we know, about Connor Roberts. It's been reported by Graham Smith, so you have to take that he wants to move. He wants to move to Leeds United. He's not playing. He smashes it at Championship level, and he's got a lot of Welsh teammates here. It's like we're like Wales FC. We've gone from being American FC to Wales FC. But it's calm. It's calm. Welsh players can actually play ball, right? I agree with Jack. I think it's an ideal signing for me. I think it would be a fantastic signing for Leeds United. There's a report about this player from that team in Turkey going to Ajax, and Leeds were linked, but never. Don't know about that one. A lot of chatter on the Liverpool sites that they'd further a move for Somerville over other prospective signings. But again, Somerville's one to look at in the summer for any club, definitely. So if we look as well, just on some other stuff, a lot of it, as I say, is around Connor Roberts at the moment. I am trying to find the piece on Chris Mepham. I did get it up. Just bear me one moment. Let me find the article in question. Just one sec, folks. Joe Donohue's done a decent article as well on Charlie Creswell and about the permanent signing. I said before, I think we accept about 4 million for him, which people might not like, but as long as we get a clause and that in there, then it could be one we could entertain. Here is the article, sorry, on Chris Mepham. So obviously David Brooks as well, but it's been reported in the last couple of hours actually that he favours a move to Southampton. Leeds are admirers of Bournemouth centre-back Chris Mepham, according to Alex Crook, who revealed this information to Give Me Sport. So that's the link there. The full-back spot is one that probably needs addressing, along with the striker department. Look, the thing is, he has played at full-back. Revealing Leeds' admiration for the Wales international talk sport journalist Crook. Just bear me one moment, I always need to do this. Crook told Give Me Sport, it's interesting because the manager said they're not going to do much in this window because he's happy with the squad. But I've been told by people actually they're going to be quite ambitious. They think they've got a great chance of getting in the Premier League, so they're going for it. You mentioned David Brooks. Chris Mepham of Bournemouth is someone else I think they admire. Having sent Spence back, you'd have thought they'd get a full-back lined up, so I think Leeds might be a lot more active than Daniel Farke is laying on. I agree with that though as well. He says quiet window, but when he says quiet window, he means it in relation to the summer for me. Big up Joey. I link with Gelhardt for Plymouth. Good signing. I believe for Plymouth, yeah. I think it's a good deal. We'll speak about that now because there was talk of him going Rangers and Celtic, and I thought that was a bit wild. That seems to have now changed a little bit, and Plymouth look to be keen to sign him. He is on large wages. Maybe Leeds United will have to subsidise some of that. I watched a bit of Connie yesterday. He made a great point about when we did initially sign Gelhardt, we signed him ahead of the likes of Liverpool and all these big clubs because of the pathway and because of his like standing in the game of where everyone thought he was. He was getting likened to Wayne Rooney, etc. And if you remember, the transfer fee paid for Joffrey was next to nothing. It was tribunal stuff. So obviously they've then subsidised that and said, right, we'll give him a big wage, which has got him off the line. But what that then does, a bit like Sonny Perkins, means you struggle to get them off the books if it don't work. Nunny says, yeah, we can't pay high wages. Can he play striker or wide? To be honest, he can, but I don't know which is his favourite position, Nunny. Yeah, he can play striker. Yeah, he can play second striker. Yeah, he can play in the 10. Yeah, he can play off the right. But again, is he great at any of them positions? I'm not too sure. But I think it would be a decent move for him. He went last season to Sunderland, who were vying for the playoffs. I think at Plymouth, you're going to stay in the division. I think that's a good move for him. Yeah. I think Leeds United will have to be involved in some sort of subsidisation, won't they? They would have to do that. Jamie says sell. I think it's too early yet on Gelhardt. He is only 21. We do have to remember this. And let's wait until... Jamie, I'm not saying... Let me just qualify again that statement. I'm not saying I see him in the Premier League at Leeds United, but because of the length of deal and the age, I think that if he has a good season, you then are able to sell. You then are able to sell at a decent price, which again factors in FFP because we paid next to nothing for him. I don't think we've wrote him off. He's clearly talented. You don't come through West Ham's academy and playing, he's clearly talented. Attitude seems to be an issue for Sonny Perkins, which isn't the same you can say for Joffrey. Yeah, definitely. I don't even know if it's a word or I've just made it up, bro. But yeah, according to Alan Nixon, he's reported on his Patreon channel that he's a target for Plymouth. And they stand a chance as they're not involved in the race for promotion, which is important, right? We don't want to sell him to a direct rival, if you like. Not that I think Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton will be looking to take George Gelhardt. Another one that's finally left the books of Leeds United, not officially, but when he signs his pre-contract agreement, is Robin Koch. He signed a 4-year contract with Eintracht Frankfurt, which, there you go. So for some reason, people were under the illusion that we would get some sort of money for that. We haven't. He's not a Leeds United player anymore in the bin. We might have received a loan fee or something like that, but it'd have been next to nothing. It'd have only been a sweetener, I assume. So, yeah, Robin Koch is now officially off the books. Phil Hayes been speaking on the podcast as well with the Square Ball lads. Big up the Square Ball. He's said, not overly too much on David Brooks, really. They're unsure. The noises from Bournemouth, you seem to be a bit inconclusive about whether they really want Brooks to go. This is Brooks' first full season back at full fitness since he recovered from stage 2 Hodgkin lymphoma, but just has not managed the minutes he would have liked. And listen, Bournemouth are going places. You've got the likes of, Alex Scott there doing bits. There's other players, Dominic Golanke, Philip Billing. He's going to struggle. They brought in Justin Clivert. So he wants to probably go and, reignite his career somewhere. Would he get game time? Well, this seems to be the issue. And this is going to continue to be the issue at Leeds United, especially when you consider the lack of rotation from Farke. And this, again, could be an issue for us. Sorry, I don't want to share a video because it'll strike my bloody video down. I'm just trying to find... Yeah, so apparently Southampton are now favourites to sign him. Apparently he favours a move to stay on the South Coast. David Brooks obviously came through at Sheffield United as well. I'm not sure that would have any bearing on it, but it's clear Southampton are in the same pool of players that we are. They wanted Carvalho. They couldn't give him minutes. If you're, I don't know the current situation at Southampton, who's playing out wide. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but obviously they sold the guy over to Germany. Him who was at Burnley last season, Teller. Does anyone know off the top of the head who's been playing on the right-hand side for them? I'm just trying to think. Obviously, we have Kyle Walker-Peters, Dudley Smallbone, Armstrong. I'm just trying to think who's either side of that. But basically, is this a situation where David Brooks looks at both clubs and says, I'm going to get more minutes at Saints? And I think that's fair enough, because Ryan Fraser, well, he's dead, isn't he? And I think he comes off the bench. A Dorsey, Sumane, yeah, okay. But the fact is, someone like David Brooks might look at Willie Gnonto, right, see that he's barely getting any minutes. So why am I going to go there? And this will be an issue Leeds United face. That will be an issue that Leeds United face. And that, again, is up to Daniel Farke for him to convince players to come in. Can he? Can he do that? Does he have that pulling power to say, yeah, okay, you might get, but you'll get minutes here, because history this season shows us that you fucking won't. Because Willie Gnonto, Jadon Anthony, this is a great point. If you're an agent, if you're an agent, right, you only have to look at Jadon Anthony. You say, look at Jadon Anthony. He went on loan there, right? He played 4 games in the Premier League. He's gone to Leeds United. I don't know, maybe he's played the same amount in his minutes now, but it doesn't look good. So I think that's going to play a massive part. If you're David Brooks, especially when you consider David Brooks plays for the same fucking team as Jadon Anthony, we might have rung him up. How's it going there? Yeah, I'm barely playing, mate. Don't get a look in. So I can understand it. And if I'm honest, when you think about that, I don't see us being able to land David Brooks because of that, because like Jamie says, it's sort of like spot on a little bit. It looks like Southampton wanted Carvalho. They're not going to get him. They're now saying, right, we're going to put all our eggs in the David Brooks basket. Will they get him over Leeds United? I think they will. I genuinely think they will. Just because you've got a lone player there who's already not getting minutes. He's already not getting minutes. Jed Spence has been involved in a loan deal for Genoa. They're trying to get Radu over the line, and as part of a sweetener, Spurs are also throwing in Jed Spence. It's not a permanent deal, contrary to reports. It's a loan to Genoa as part of a deal. This is what's happening now with Spence. He's being used as like a make weight. That's no reflection on Leeds United. Like, it's not a good deal. He's just been thrown in there at Genoa basically to say, listen, we want Radu, who's wanted by Bayern Munich, Napoli, etc. Spurs close to getting him done. And then they say, right, we'll also give you Jed Spence. Yeah. Listen, he's been all over now, Jed, really, when you think about it. If he's going to move to Italy as well, let's see how many minutes he gets over there. It's disappointing, but Jed Spence has been basically farmed straight back out of the club. So he's going to Genoa. He is like a one-stop shop of all the latest news as well, just on one of the aggregator sites, which covers it all off nicely, where we currently are, what the current links are. Joe Gelhardt, wanted man at Plymouth, as we know. Somerville, he's linked to everybody, Newcastle, Liverpool, etc. Connor Roberts could be a move for Leeds United, regardless of Ayling. Ayling, I think, moves when we do rectify that position, if indeed we do rectify it. Roberts, as well, according to Graham Smith, wants the deal. These reports, I've seen Graham Bailey saying that Milan, Inter, Juve, Napoli all want Nonto. It's BS. Andrea confirmed that. Don't listen to that guy. So Nonto, Dragowski, Josh Doig. Listen, I don't think we get Josh Doig in. I think he's too much. And he's only about 6 million, by the way, 5 or 6 million. I think Torino tried to get it down to about 2 or 3. So he's not like 10 million or anything like that. It's just we don't have that spare cash. Bright Isaiah Samuel could be an option. Again, he's always linked, not a chance. Andre Santos was alone, but again, we've got players in them positions. We know about Carvalho moving to Hull, and Robin Koch is off or staying at Frankfurt, but has just signed for them permanently. But yeah, Phil Hay, just on the David Brooks thing, like we were saying before, Phil Hay believes. Oh, am I back? I think I crashed there for a second. It's probably because of all the bloody tabs I've got open. Thanks, folks. Just on that, but Phil Hay thinks on the David Brooks thing, we want a left-footed right winger. Okay, or we don't have that in the squad, so we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Now, just on Charlie Creswell, I do want to talk about Charlie Creswell again. Just because Joe Donohue's done a bit of a piece this morning on the potential of, of him moving out. Obviously, we know the situation around his dad and stuff. I think he goes. Like, I'm under no illusion now. I think he goes. I just think we are waiting for incomings before we can move him on. Now, obviously, 4 or 5 million is what Joe Donohue's reported in this piece would be the figure that Leeds United will look at. Obviously, that then, because ultimately, I know it's not a massive amount of money, but in terms of profit and sustainability, it's 5 million in the bank because we paid nothing for him. I'll just share with you now. So FFP states that clubs are not permitted to make a loss greater than 105 million over a 3-year period. While the 4 or 5 million referenced above is not substantial in football terms, it would help Leeds somewhat live within their means during a season in which they are highly likely to make a loss. And this is important. It's a tricky one to navigate for Farker and Leeds. While the manager insists Creswell has not been in his office to ask for a move, the player in his camp cannot be content with minutes this season, as we've already seen. Because his dad's basically saying it. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist. It does not take a rocket scientist to work out that even before any of that comes out, that Charlie will want minutes. Do you know? Charlie will want minutes. He's played nearly every minute for Millwall in a season, and then, you know, yeah, he's now expected to just not even get in a match day squad. It's mad. And like Jamie said, he's clearly not rated. That's the thing we have to think about, is that the manager clearly doesn't fancy him for whatever reason. So we as a fan base have to accept that fact, as much as it might wrangle us. In Farker we trust, you know, he's not steered us wrong so far. But we'll have to wait and see. XLM watched Connor this morning. He's not sure. We have to. I think he might not be sure of that fact. I don't know any information, but what I would say in response to that is, because Farker basically said we were already looking at a left back prior to Firpo's injury, before in a press conference we will get a left back, because Sam can't stay injury free and Firpo can't stay injury free. So for me, I think we do get a left back. I think, SLM, that they might be waiting for or looking for a full back that can play both sides, which are very hard to acquire, which is why, you know, we'll like Nico Williams. But Nico Williams doesn't happen for me, because he's playing at Forest. He's getting minutes. They bought him for 20 million. That doesn't happen for me. So, no guarantee. All right, okay. Obviously not, right? Obviously not. But you've got two players that are never fit. That's a silly statement, bro. So we'll have to wait and see. But, you know, I think we need both. I think we need both. Connor Roberts is there, but the club clearly aren't willing to push the button yet. They're waiting to see what else is out there. But I agree with Dave. If we didn't get a left back and a right back, it'd be crazy. It would be crazy, because if Gray gets injured, I don't mind Gray at right back, you know this. And everyone say, yeah, play him in midfield, but he's not going to start over Kamara, right? And it's all right having him, but I like him at right back. He's done a good job there. But if he got injured underneath that, it ain't great. It ain't great. Left back's even worse, because you've got two players in Firpo and Byram. Firpo's still shocking defensively, regardless of what you think of his performances recently. Defensively, he's terrible. His positional, his spatial awareness is well off. He just can't defend. So, and then you've got Byram, who has been good. Kai Wagner's rubbish, man. I don't know why people keep pushing this, you know. Right, here's Dor, Forest fan. Hope you're well, Job. I wouldn't say Williams getting minutes at Forest, but he could still go out on loan. He's been getting minutes, though, hasn't he, in the last three? Am I right in saying that, Dor? Am I right in saying that? But yeah, on the left back situation, Byram's great, but he just can't stay fit. He just can't stay fit. And like Jamie says, Shackleton, is he a regular starter? Maybe not. You know, so that's the two areas. The mad thing, we all thought we needed a 10, and I'm a little bit more lax there. I think it's more the right side or the left side of fullback, or both. Omar Badeli would be a shout. But again, would he get minutes? He might even be better than Strouk for what we know of him in the past, bro. But I'm just not sure if he gets the. This is the thing. This is the thing with us, because our manager has been reticent to make changes. Then how can we say to players, we can give you minutes? Because history this season says, well, no, you don't. Do you know what I mean? You haven't given me minutes. You haven't given minutes to Jadon Anthony. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if that can be a thing, but yeah. Yeah, I'm just having a look. I just wanted to double check. He's definitely played 90 minutes in the last 3 games as Nico Williams. So, but basically, in a roundabout way, just to finish off, it doesn't happen, James. I genuinely don't think it happens. But there we go. Dor says off the bench, but due to AFCON players. But I still think we get good offer. We will sell due to our FFP. No, but you'd be taking a massive loss, bro. Like you bought him for 20 million, right? Leeds United can't get even into that conversation. So, but yourself. So, what are you telling me that he hasn't played 90 minutes in the last 3? Is that what you're telling me, bro? Are you sure you were at these games, though? I know you go week in, week out, mate, but he played minutes. He's played 90 minutes in the last 3, and prior to that was subs. So, and that could be due to AFCON, but I think a player like Nico Williams, who can play right and left, doesn't. But again, the FFP, because they paid so much for it, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Listen, folks, if you're right, that's fine. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens on Nico Williams. I don't see it. I genuinely don't see it. Cooper ignored Nico, but Nuno is playing him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's before though. We have to remember this series that Cooper, not so sure. I think for me, Nico Williams, you play right back, left back. I think he's too valuable for me. But we'll wait and see. Listen, I hope you're right, and I hope I'm massively wrong, because I think Nico Williams is a top player, a very, very good player, by the way. But yeah, I don't see it happening. But yeah, look, Leeds United, like David Brooks, but looks like he's off his way to Southampton. Chris Mepham's been linked. Again, I'm not sure if I'm over enamoured with that signing. Maybe it's because he can play right centre back and right back. But Connor Roberts wants to move to Leeds United, but Leeds United, I don't know what's happening there. I would make a move, but maybe they think they can get. Maybe they think they can get Williams, for example. That seems to be it. Joffrey could be on his way out. We'll have to wait and see. Listen, I will be live tonight at 5 to 8 for the Carabao Cup semi-final match between Middlesbrough and Chelsea. So make sure you join me for that. We'll have something after that as well at around about 10 o'clock, as is always the case. Late night Leeds. What that is yet, I'm not too sure, but I will tell you very, very soon. But listen, thanks as always for watching the Just Joe Football Show. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get your comments in, hit the notification bell and all that, Jaws. And yeah, I will see you later on. Peace out now. Bye-bye.